For the last year and a half, there has been a lot of talk around the whole charter system agreement and when it's going to get done and what it's going to be like. And I believe right now, as fans, we got a really good idea. So there's a lot of people and journalists in the NASCAR world posting things on Twitter, and they're saying right now NASCAR could very well limit the teams to 3 charters. And if it were to be the case in 2025, here's what I think the teams will look like. We're going to start it off with Hendrick Motorsports, the 5 of Kyle Larson, the 9 of Chase Elliott, and the 24 of William Byron. Alex Bowman is going to be the odd man out. Alex Bowman right now isn't cutting it. He is mediocre at best, and I believe he is the worst by far. And Elliott, Larson, and Byron will be a very dominant trio right there. So I believe it's going to work out for Hendrick Motorsports if it were to be the case. 3 charters only. But it's going to get much more interesting down the road. Joe Gibbs Racing. Martin Truex Jr. is more than likely going to retire. So it will aid them in a way. They're going to have Denny Hamlin in the 11, Christopher Bell in the 20, and Ty Gibbs in the 54. And I believe Gibbs and Bell are guaranteed locks. And Hamlin, I'm not too sold yet. Yes, he's the best driver on the team. But, though, he's up there in age, and will Joe Gibbs want to keep him much longer? I don't know. But that's what I got for now. 2311 Racing. We're seeing what Corey Heim is doing in the truck series right now. He's doing really good. So I think he gets the promotion to Cup, and Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick. And that right there is a very interesting team right there, to say the least, because I think Bubba Wallace has been on the back foot side of things, like over the last, 2 years with Tyler Reddick, and I just feel like it's going to be sooner rather than later when the question arises whether or not is he good enough for that team and should they move on from him. But I believe he'll stay for another year. Legacy Motor Club, this one's going to get real interesting here. I believe they get a charter. And John Hunter Nemechek, Eric Jones in the 43, and Chandler Smith in the 84. I believe this lineup right here will be a good one, and I think this new agreement will help this team out big time because they'll work like an F1 team, if you will. They'll head to the track, helping each other out, and doing what's best for the team. I believe it's going to be much more interesting to watch these races with this potential 3 charter team system. Trackhouse Racing, Ross Chastain, Zane Smith in the 91, and Daniel Suarez in the 99. This lineup right here could be really good, but I believe Zane Smith is going to be the lacking part of this team. But though he's in the 71 car right now in 2024 with Spire, so as the year will go on, he will get better, and I believe come 2025, he's going to be up there. If he's not, there's going to be some question marks surrounding his name, and that's not a good feeling to be in. So Spire, Corey LaJoie in the 7, Michael McDowell in the 71, and Carson Hocevar in the 77. But, though, we might as well have an asterisk besides Carson Hocevar because he could very well get a promotion in the offseason because how well he's doing right now in the 2024 season. So, who knows? Will he be with this team moving forward? Time will tell, but he's doing really good. And they're going to do a lot to keep that from happening. They're going to want to keep him on this team for years to come. Front row, this is going to be the most exciting team, in my opinion, for the years to come because they're now a Tier 1 organization. And they're going to be doing some research this offseason for the best potential driver or drivers to replace Michael McDowell as the lead driver in 2025. And I believe it will be Cole Custer in the 34, Noah Gragson in the 35, and Todd Gilliland in the 38. Gilliland will be the lead man, in my opinion. But Gragson will be soon behind. RFK Racing will merge with the Wood Brothers. 3 charter team. Chase Briscoe stays with Ford. There you go. Brad Keselowski in the 6. Chris Buescher in the 17. And Chase Briscoe to the 21. And this right here will help out the Wood Brothers big time because they're struggling financially. They're leaning a lot on Team Penske to get them the machine and equipment and stuff like that. And I believe right here will be a great deal because Briscoe does have ties with Brad Keselowski. He raced for him in the Truck Series, and Keselowski is big with the Ford development game. Colleague, this is where Alex Bowman ends up. He drives the 10 car, Shane Van Gisbergen in the 16, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. drives a 31 car, and JTG Daugherty Racing goes out of business, in my opinion. But, though, it's just a scenario of a 3 charter team because JTG ain't going to grow. They don't have the funding to. unless it has someone big time come into the picture and just buy a lot of charters, which is highly unlikely. RCR, Austin Dillon is going absolutely nowhere. Kyle Busch, maybe, but for the time being, he's going to be in the 8 car. And Austin Hill will be in a 33 car. This right here, Austin Hill, he has to prove himself in year 1. He ain't going to have year 2 if he doesn't do good, because Jesse Love is in the picture, so he ain't going to have a he's going to have a short leash, if you will. He ain't going to have a long chance to prove himself like other drivers in the Cup Series, like you may see Ty Dillon had in the 13 car. That's not going to happen again. It's not going to happen in this day and age with a 3-charter system. And Josh Berry in the 15, Justin Haley in the 51, and Riley Herbst gets the promotion to the Cup Series, and this right here was long overdue. He has been with Stewart-Haas Racing in the Xfinity Series for the last so many years, and he has gotten much better as a driver, and I believe right now he is Cup ready, and he will do a good job in year number 1. Team Penske right here to round things out. Austin Cindric is going to stay, Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano. But, though, the Cindric deal is going to get really interesting because his father, Tim Cindric, right now is on, like, the hottest seat ever you can think of when it comes to job security, because after what happened with the push-to-pass and IndyCar, so there's no guarantees that he'll be there, let alone his son. But for the time being, Austin Cindric will be there.